So I know you're just finishing up, so you're considering your distribution options now. Where's your head out right now as far as distribution for Incantation?
Right now, I believe I'm going to go through FilmHUB and just do it all through FilmHUB. And
Okay.
I really don't. I like have PTSD from Devil's
Distributor.
Asset, and
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm responsible for all of this again. So I just want to make sure, if we could make 50% of the budget back, really, I would be happy.
Hmm.
I would be happy. And obviously you want to make profit, but just understanding what value I have myself, distributing it myself. I want to know what that value is, like, because
Totally.
if you
And
do
then
pay a
this
sales
will tell you.
agent, yeah, and if you do pay a sales agent or get a sales agent or distribution deal, I mean, you just, and plus the fees, like, let's say, the fees are 15 grand. Well, that's a huge chunk of money. I wouldn't mind making myself,
Yeah.
even if it means I'm not going to make, have that big distribution deal or whatever. I don't care. I just want to,
Right. Yeah. From
and then,
Yeah,
yeah.
from what I've seen, at this, and I've made a lot of movies at this level, like the unless it's something that really takes off, there's a ceiling to what they earn overall, and going with a sales agent or a slightly bigger distributor that does have the sales fees and whatnot, the amount that you'll make over with them is usually not equal to those sales fees. In my experience, I'm not saying never. There'll be 20 filmmakers watching this. Like, well, I made my movie for $30,000 and we gave it to ITN, and we made $200,000, and maybe they did,
Mhm.
but
All right.
that's probably an outlier.
Yeah, I really don't know one single individual who's done that.
Yeah,
I mean,
I was totally making that up, by the way.
yeah, right, and because I have read this, like, case studies and success stories of people, but that's like rare.
It
And
is.
I think the factor that could make a difference is if you can get real A-list talent, not even B-list talent. I mean,
Yeah,
if you have access or can get, or someone with a decent following,
yeah,
that I can see, I can understand. All right, let's see what, because this distributor can do, because, or these foreign sales agents, because that might have value around the world. But you know I want to have a plan. I guess in my mind I'm thinking, okay, I can sell my DVDs from a website,
totally.
generate a cookie, figure out who my buyers are, put a little bit of money into that, and then
Use that info to target
then
audiences for your streaming release and whatnot.
yeah, pretty much, and just, like, just target ads to them. And also, I just saw this new Genius link. I saw a filmmaker who, anytime I get an ad from filmmakers, I save the link because I want to see what they did, what
Hmm.
type of ad. I saw this new Genius link from Amazon. Have you seen that?
I don't think
Or
so.
okay, I will send you a link to it. But
Yeah, yeah,
just interesting links that Amazon's doing that helps provide cookies and stuff. And
yeah. No, I
so,
didn't even know.
because, like, what if? Because if you can spend $1 and make $1, I think that's huge, because you're getting awareness out, which will help. And that's really my target. And then, but how to, you know, figuring out how to do that, because I think DVDs, and then maybe Vimeo,
Yeah,
TVOD, just, even though it's such a zero market, at least you can maybe see what's working, what ads are working, and
yeah,
implement that too.
yeah. I think Vimeo is
Yeah.
a really good way to test your general ads. And if say if your end goal is to say put ads for some streaming service, whether it be Amazon or Tubi or whatever, but you start out all those test ads on like Vimeo. Now your click through rate is going to be high or lower on Vimeo. You're going to pay more per click. So, but you can still get like a general ballpark idea of how it's working, and then say, okay, well, when I do this for Amazon or Tubi, I'll probably be paying 20 to 30% less per click through.
Mm-hmm.
because
Do-
at least that's how I look at it. And then also another thing to look out with ads, because there's two different schools of thought in social media marketing as far as paying for ads. And one of them is, you're looking at your direct ROI. How much am I paying for a click through? How much is that click through earning me, right? But the thing with streaming platforms and distribution, it's all algorithm. And if you're targeting the proper audience, and say it costs you 5 cents a click, but you're only earning maybe 2 cents a click off of it, so it's not really paying off like that. But what it's doing is training, wherever you're sending them, it's training that algorithm, like who's watching this film. So like if you get 100 people, all specifically targeted, that are clicking through there, those 100 people are going to be worth 5 times in the long run. But there's no real way to quantify that. So like
It's
it's a
interesting though. Yeah, it's good insight though,
yeah.
because
So I always run two types of ads. I'll do direct ROI to TVOD, and I'll watch those. And if the click throughs are not, worth it, I either stop doing them or I augment it. But then I'll do a lower amount paid ad, that's just for sparking that momentum in the algorithm. And I don't pay much for those, between $1 and $5 a day, depending on, what movie it is. Like I'm running one right now for $5 a day, and I'll do it for a month. And then next month I'll look at the analytics for that channel. I'll see where it is compared to the previous month. And then I'll decide if I want to run that again or not.
how are you getting monthly analytics?
Well, like when
What?
you're going through, say, FilmHUB, for example, you get analytics on their dashboard that update a few times a month. Like Tubi,
Okay.
for example, I don't hold me to this, but I believe they report 2 times a month, so like every 2 weeks, and they'll say like what a title is earning. Like it doesn't get real specific analytics. It won't say how many views or click through rate or minutes viewed or any of that. You'll just get what you have earned.
Right. So you can tell based off
Yeah,
what you earned before if
yeah,
it's working or not. Okay, that
totally.
was
So
one thing I was concerned about was,
yeah, it's
do you
not.
have to wait every quarter?
No. And so, like I said, Tubi updates every 2 weeks. So from like the 1st to the 14th, when those 14th numbers come out, like on the whatever 14th or 15th, I look at that and I know what it made in those 2 weeks. I haven't got that money yet, but that's, it's the
But
insight.
yeah, the
Yeah.
data's there.
Yeah,
Do you ever
exactly.
use Google Ads, or is it primarily Facebook?
So I primarily use Facebook ads, and honestly, it is just because it's what I've done the most. I'm the most comfortable with it, and I got it down pretty good. I'm trying to get better at Google ads, but I've had really bad luck. Like I can't get anything delivering for like under $1, So like I haven't had much luck. But I talked to a filmmaker. He runs Cine Ridge Entertainment, and he's done a lot of low budget movies, and he does, or claims to do very well off of Google ads. Like kept telling me like, you need to do Google ads, you need to do Google ads. But so far I haven't looked at it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I would check out that company. He's done like, I think like 30 or 40 films. He's like his own little mini like distribution, production company.
Yeah, I think that's in my business plan from the beginning. It has always been something similar to that, like a mini style studio where we can.
Yeah, and you're doing 2 levels of movies. You can do them, at the, 200, 700,000 $1 million range, and you can have this like, $50,000 like movie.
That's
My
right.
Yeah, my end goal with narrative films was always to, so do the 50 grand ones for a little while and eventually get to the point where, I'm just making $250,000, $500,000 movies, and then finding younger filmmakers to come in and keep that $50,000 thing going. Because at least in my experience so far, my revenue splits have been better on the cheaper movies. I just haven't licked the higher budget yet. I haven't done as much of it either, so that would be fair to say. I mean, I've directed one movie that was 250,000 and worked on a couple that were maybe around the 100,000 mark. So I don't have enough experience to speak on it with authority, but I've just it seems to me anyway that the safer investment is the lower budget, if everything is right. And it's still a numbers game. You do five of them, probably three of them are gonna either break even or lose, more likely lose, and two will be either fairly or very profitable.